everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from the City of Ash. Yes, we are back with more Age of Sigmar goodness and more Skaven. Check it out. Hey, we've got the all-new Gutter Runners and the all-new Night Runners as well. It's a dual kit. They look very similar to one another, hence why there's a very clear line of separation here, so that I know exactly which one is which. These are the Gutter Runners, these are the Night Runners. I have that in my head. Although, I probably should just verify that one more time. Yes. That's exactly who they are. So, Gutter Runners and Night Runners, and we're going to be painting them both up, all 20 models in one video, and we're going to be doing this in a super speedy, super effective way, because, well, we've painted lots of Skaven on the channel before, and this is no different. It's just a lot more black involved. So we're going to jump in and just start doing that in just a second, but before we do that, a massive thank you goes to Games Workshop for sending me these earlier as part of the City of Ash box, and well, a little bit more admin before we get started. So it's all been primed in Grey Seer, and whilst the colour schemes are very similar, we're going to do a couple of little things to just be able to determine which one is which once you sling them into your hobby case or whatever. But otherwise, there's going to be very similar things going on across both of these sets of models. So we're going to do a thing on Gutter Runners, then a thing on Night Runners. It's going to alternate like that throughout the video. And, well, we're going to start with their tails in just a second. So Gutter Runners up first, as promised. What we're going to do for all 10 of our Gutter Runners, including their little bomb rats, is we're going to take some Berserker Bloodshade. We're going to apply this over the top of their tails. The Berserker Bloodshade applied over our Gutter Runners' tails. For our Night Runners' tails, we're going to use some Guilliman Flesh. Back to the Gutter Runners we go, and we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to apply this over the top of all of their skin. Back over to our Night Runners, and we're going to use Agrax Earthshade over top of all of their skin. And then back to Gutter Runners for some Wyldwood, where we're going to apply this over the top of their little headers. And then similarly for the Night Runners, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Snakebite Leather, and we're going to apply this over their little tufts of hair. So with that all done, in a moment of pure collaboration across both our Night Runners and Gutter Runners, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to apply this over top of the teeth, the noses, the eyes, and the inside of their ears, as well as their toenails and fingernails. So here's where we're at so far in our two different schemes. As you can see, minor differences, but it's just about enough. But this is where the real differences are going to start. So, next colour that we're going to use is some Basilicanum Grey. And on our gutter runners, we're going to use this to pick out anything that looks vaguely like a bandage or a wrap on the Skaven, not on their weapons. And then next up on our Night Runners, we're going to take some Aggaros Dunes, and we're going to apply this over the top of anything that looks vaguely like a bandage or a wrap. So with that all done, it's time for another generic colour, which is going to be Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over top of any leather belts, the slings on our Night Runners, and any kind of straps and things. Again, we're still just ignoring the grips of the weapons. So with all that Cygor Brown applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy, and over the top of our gutter runners, we're going to use this to colour in the, well, grips of their weapons, which we've been avoiding all of this time, and we're also going to use this to colour in any kind of sort of like the stuff that's on their heads, the cloth that's on their heads, if it's not connected to the main shroud. So some of them, for example, have got a little face mask. Some of them have got, in the case of this champion, there's just a little bit of this underneath the bit of head armor here. So we're going to apply this there. And this is going to be our sort of very subtle but heraldic colour for our gutter runners. With that Sigvald Burgundy all applied to our gutter runners, for our Night Runners, we're going to do the same thing, but what we're going to do instead of Sigvald Burgundy is we're going to use Terradon Turquoise. Two Night Runner clips in a row. Well, the reason being is because what we're going to do next is we're going to take some Ratling Grime and we're going to apply this over top of all the rope. The gutter runners have a little bit of rope, but not very much. I think there's one has a rope belt. So with that all done, we're finally going to take the big kahuna, which is the Black Legion. And we're going to apply this over top of all of their sort of shrouds and cloaks, capes, hoods, all that good stuff. This is going to be across, I should say actually, it's going to be across both gutter runners and Night Runners. And so with all of that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Black Templar. And again, over the top of both our Gutter Runners and Night Runners, we're going to apply the Black Templar over the top of their shirts and trousers. So with that Black Templar applied, here we are, so far. All 22 of our models. Our bomb rats are in here as well, here and here. We've actually forgotten to do one thing on them, which is the det cord, which is rope, so we're going to apply some Ratling Grime to that a little bit later on. But for now, because we forget to do these things all the time. So, what we're going to do now is we're just going to actually clean up a couple more extra details. There's only two, but we're going to do some green on these pipes, and we're going to do some bone on, similarly, on this person's helmet. So we're just going to do that, and then it's metallic time. So popping all of this to one side, what we need is this guy, who's got a little bit of green tubing going on. Here we go. So the colour we're going to be using for him is Striking Scorpion Green. Now, there is some goop that is on the champion's blade, and we can add a little bit of extra kind of like poison stuff to the Gutter Runners, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to wait until we've done the metallics. So for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to apply this Striking Scorpion Green over the top of these tubes. This guy, and then we'll be back in just a second. And with that all done, this particular little Gutter Runner has got a bone helmet. So what we're going to do is going to take some skeleton horde and apply this over the top. So with that all done, it is now time to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of all of our metallic details. We are going to add a little bit of variation, but for now we'll just apply this over top of everything, and then we can decide what we want to do per model, as it were. And this will just act as a lovely base coat. With all of that Iron Warriors applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. And we're going to apply this over top of any kind of decorative details. So for example on this guy, we're just getting rid of that little overspill of Runelord Brass there. Lovely. Anyway, on this guy, we're going to be applying this over the top of his bit of head armor because, well, it's the champion. He deserves it. But also over that little bar there, it kind of acts as a bit of trim. But we're also going to apply this over the top of the crossguard and the pommel of his weapon as well. Done it again. And the other area we're going to apply this over the top of, across all of them, is over the top of any bombs, anything that's kind of mechanical looking. And with our metallics all applied, it is now time to add a shade, which is going to be some Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to apply this over the top of all the silver, all the brass, and we're also going to apply this over the top of their black shrouds. So with that all done, both Gutter Runners and Night Runners are what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. And there's like 5 or 6 things left to do. There's a couple of bits that we actually haven't touched, which is the poison on this blade, and we haven't touched the little lit fuses either on the bombs, because, well, we're going to do those at the end. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do some highlights, and specifically what we're going to do is we're going to highlight pretty much the entire model, or models, with 1 or 2 dry brushes, and then we're going to pick out the eyes and the teeth as well. So the first dry brush that we're going to use is some Agrax stone, and we're going to gently apply this over the top of everything that isn't metal. With that Agrax stone dry brush all applied, our second dry brush is going to be some Iron Breaker. We're going to dry brush this basically just over like the bladed sharp bits. With those dry brushes all applied, we're then going to take some Striking Scorpion Green, and we're going to apply this over top of this goop. Like so. And if you want to, across some of the weapons, not all of them, you just add a little bit of the Striking Scorpion Green to the blade itself, like that. With that all done, we're then going to take some Iyanden Yellow, and we're going to apply this over top of all the lit fuses. And with all those fuses now done, we're going to take a little bit of some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to pick out all of their eyeballs. And so to finish off the Gutter Runners and the Night Runners, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of some thinned down Screaming Skull, and we're just going to use this to pick out the teeth. And there we have it. The base is all complete, and our Gutter Runners and our Night Runners are now finished. And I do think I now have a pretty decent handle on which is which, especially with those two slightly different colour schemes that are going on here. Although I do think it does tend to sort of boil down to how much of a cloak they've got. It depends on whether or not they're a Gutter Runner or a Night Runner. But once you've done it, you'll get intimately familiar with the models. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do. as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.